All right, what is going on, everybody? I am glitching hard. Let's see. I'm gonna turn this off. I'm gonna turn that off. Okay, I think it should be good there. And I'm going to exit out of this because I don't need that up. And yes, it is I, Chef Ron, your boy Ron from the Melanated Council. I am 1/3 of the council. Bam, right there. Typically, we try to go live Tuesday nights at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and then wherever else you're at in the world. I guess figure that out. I don't know. And as always, please like, subscribe, enjoy the show, leave a comment, let us know how you are, how you doing, so that way we can reach out to you and acknowledge you and just check up in on you. Okay, that's what we like to do. And we just like to kick things off cool, calm, and collective, really small and simple and whatnot. I don't know why I am lagging so hard, you guys. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. But right now, it is not the best in the whole wide world. It is not the best in the whole wide world. So we're gonna try to make it do what it do, and I'm gonna make it do what it do, and we're gonna ride this thing out until the wheels fall off. So, got my water. Thought another thing of water somewhere. Oh well. Water is good for you. Water is great for you, but then again, I like drinking coffee. I like drinking energy drinks, but water's better for you. Hey, Chad, what's going on? Okay. All right, cool. Because I thought, well, because on my end, for like a hot second, like a lot of things on my end is looking like real sketch like. It's looking real sketch like. Hey, what's going on, Rocky? What's going on? What's Gucci? Man, Prada. Prada. You know how we do. You know how we do. We in here. So yes. I mean, it's snowing here in Michigan, and not a big fan. I'm not a big fan of it, but at the same time, I kind of am a fan of it. And let me explain. I've been living in Michigan for the majority of my life, and so I'm always used to playing in the snow as a kid, getting snow pants, snowball fights, and everything else, having fun in the snow. As an adult, especially a driving adult, I don't like it as much. Don't like it. Don't like it. I don't like dealing with the snow. I don't like driving in the snow. I don't mind playing in it, but as far as driving in the snow goes, nah, I'm good. I don't have the time. I don't have the patience. I don't. Excuse me. Trying to get over this cold that I was trying to catch. Man, listen. I'm trying, bro. I'm trying. It's just me right now. I gotta hold it down until Toby and or L shows up. Whoever shows up next, I might get a tissue. But other than that, I've been dealing with this thing since last week, Wednesday. Speaking of, if you guys haven't heard or whatnot, so last week, Wednesday, flew out to Texas, the Dallas area to be precise. And when I flew out to Texas, my sister was getting married. So we flew out Wednesday because the flight was cheaper and everything else. Like, cool, great, let's do that. So we did that. Thursday was a blur because it was, oh yeah, oh yeah, I'm staying on that vitamin C. I got emergency on deck. I got chicken. The missus is going to be making some homemade chicken noodle soup. I don't know if she's going to make it tonight or tomorrow, but I got her all the ingredients to make chicken noodle soup. That's the one thing she stays doing. And I know me myself, during the times where she can't cook, I typically stand in and do a lot of the cooking myself. I got to go back home. Once I get done streaming here, I got to go back home, got to look over my recipe books and figure out which dinner or soup I want to try to create and go from there. And the last year I made gumbo for the first time and it was amazing. Like, oh, so I might do gumbo this year again. Then again, I might do something else as far as the soup wise go. I don't know yet. I don't. Man, let's listen about that. So what is it? So Thursday, me and the missus, we wake up and we get in our hotel, we're sleeping, we're snoozing, and we're like, you know what? We're hungry. Let's go get something to eat. So right around the corner was the Cracker Barrel at the hotel. And mind you, it was fairly cold. It was like 50-ish. And it still had that tinge of rain in the air because it was just. Oh yeah, I did that. I made that in my crock pot last year. Kids loved it. Family loved it. And so I was like, you know what? I'm doing it again this year. I do a lot of crock pot soups, especially during this time of season. Oh yeah. And even then, me and the missus, we were already pricing out crock pots as it is anyways. And I told her, like, I'm buying me another crock pot. Like, we're going to have this one, but I'm buying another one. It's like, okay, cool, great, because I'm thinking about buying one anyway. So, like, oh, so we're talking about having 3? She's like, if you want to. I'm like, bet. I'm with it. I am with it. The crock pot meals, yes. I am so with it. So, went to, yes, they do. Yes, they do. They save lives. Save everything. So Thursday wasn't as bad. It was like 55, 56. It was in some parts it was pushing 60, like a low 60. Pushing the low 60. But it was just very cloudy. It was just like, ugh, it sucks. And so, you know, my dad showed up, we had breakfast, we walked across the street to the 7-Eleven, and we walked across the 7-Eleven and we, you know, got some drinks, got some energy drinks and whatnot. Our brother showed up with my sister-in-law and my mom. So it was just all of us in the parking lot, just chilling and have a good time. Got to put a pause on this note because another person just showed up. So now we got 2/3 of the Melanated Council. Y'all know this man. This man is the Mr. I'ma steal your girl, have her come over, cook me a nice dinner, and then I'm gonna kick her out the house with no dessert, no nothing, no appetizers. He's also the person where it's like, last minute, last resort. You know, if the guy's taking his OD, he's still gonna push it to the closest gas station that's like 5 miles down the way. Like, we got this, we're good. So y'all know who I'm talking about. If you don't have an electric vehicle, please do not bring it around Toby. If you do have an electric vehicle, again, don't bring it around Toby because he's going to drain the battery out of it. So without further ado, let me bring in the good friend, the good homie, Toby. Let's go.
Enemies are.
I appreciate that. Not the electric car draining.
Yeah, no dessert.
No
dessert.
Oh, I'll get there later.
Yes.
And whatever announcement he's having. Obviously, we know what it is. He's running for president. I'm not seeing any lag. And with Gucci, I might have lag actually because originally things seemed to be okay. I plugged my computer, it was gonna have to be fine. Then I opened this things seem to be fine. Then I come backstage and then I have a really good name for one of these weeks of this month, but it's been for this, but that because Friendsgiving is a little bit just doesn't work very well to have it Fairland next week. I'll probably leave next Monday, but haven't. What happens with my job because I have to do stuff. I was planning to travel on Monday. But probably won't happen. At some point to have housewarming. It's just been so chaotic since I moved. That I haven't had the time to. No worries. I haven't had the time to properly have any kind of housewarming. Oh no, I'm in and out. Am I in and out verbally, or even in terms of like, can you hear me fine and I'm just physically lagging, or is my audio cutting out?
It's a mixture of both. It's a mixture of both. It'll be like you would say something and
Correct.
then
So you can't hear me.
Just cut off.
Oh.
No, you're good. You're good. It's just like right now. It would be like we'll hear you and then it'll stop completely. Like even the audio will just stop completely, and then it'll pick up and do the same thing all over again. So it's like catching you like little spurts here and there.
I just unplugged my computer, so I'm guessing it's probably not lagging right now. I'm at 52%, which is not terrible, but it's not going to last for very long because my computer's battery is pretty much shot. But I'm guessing now you can probably hear me and see me fine, but I really am not a fan of this computer and what it's been doing. Hey, what's up, Deanna?
Hey, Deanna, let's go.
Crap.
Everybody's showing up.
Right, and I didn't get to post any of this because life has just been what it is. But Ron, you were telling a story, I guess. I want to hear how this is going.
Oh yeah, talking about the trip to Texas. Oh my goodness. So went to Texas. So Thursday, everybody showed up, and then my sister was having this rehearsal dinner. Wow. And so she only sent it out. She sent it out. And we're thinking like, well, she's having a rehearsal dinner. Like, okay, cool, whatever. We'll just come in, see her, and then we dip off. No big deal. So we're waiting. So everybody shows up. So the bridal party shows up. But then again, there were some other people who showed up as well. We're like, okay, like, what's this all about? We meet the groom, talk to the grooms, say, hey, how's it going? And everything else, blah, blah, blah. And so we're just all sitting around waiting. We're hungry. And we're like, it's the rehearsal dinner. We're just going to pretty much say hi. We're going to dip off. So everybody's showing up. Everybody's like, hey, where's Princess at? Blah, blah, blah. Again, my sister. Like, where's your sister? Like, I don't know. Like, I just want to see her and then get some food because I'm hungry. And I'm hungry. I like to eat. And so, yeah, I'm just hungry. So I see this BMW pulls up, right? Nobody knows whose BMW this is. And so I'm just sitting here looking. I'm looking. And then the girl in the passenger seat, she's doing one of these numbers like this and have her hand out the window. She's like, yeah. And I look and I'm looking. I'm like, I wonder if this is her. So as soon as I open up the door that leads to the back part of the hotel, she jumps out of the car, starts booking it to me. And mind you, I haven't seen her in 20 years. The last time I seen her, I was about, my brother said 8. Bill was like, nah, she was here once before. We were just probably getting out of elementary school, going into middle school. That was the last time I seen my sister. And so she just jumps on me. She's like, oh my gosh, you're here. And so my mom comes running up, and then my brother comes running up. So it's this big old huddle. My mom hasn't seen her since she was about 8. That was the last time my mom has seen her. She was about 8. Not even that. Probably 4 or 5. Probably 4 or 5. That was the last time she seen my sister. Other than that, it was So they're all just, crying and everything else. And I'm like, okay, I'm about to be big brother, even though I'm the big little brother, like whatever. So I'm just going to hold it down. And so as I'm holding it down, I'm going to put a pause because now this whole melanated council triune is going to be perfected. Everything comes in threes. And we love it when things come in threes, especially this one. Y'all love her because she's a firecracker. She is a firecracker in her own right. And if y'all don't know, y'all gonna learn tonight who she is because she holds zero. She gives zero. And she will let you know about yourself in a nice, polite way. And you might scratch your head like, dang, like, did she really just tell me off without really telling me off? And she really did. So we're gonna bring this lovely young lady. Y'all know her, y'all love her. Y'all stay tuned for that podcast and whenever the next episode comes out because I'm over here fiending. I'm like, I need another episode. I'm like scratching doing with these numbers. I'm looking at my phone like, where's it gonna drop? Okay, y'all know her, y'all love her, y'all give it up for my homegirl, our homegirl, Elle.
Hey, thank you.
Tell you, I'll be fiending for them podcasts. They'll be like, ooh, yes, love it.
No, definitely like tell me and like, put pressure on me because like, literally like every time I have like time, I'm always like, oh, I should just do an episode. Hey, but then I just like get distracted by something else. It's bad. Like I wish I could do a podcast outside of my home that for free. Like I wish I could just go to a coffee shop, like just be like, hey, and welcome back to the Agreeable Gray Area podcast. Everyone ignore me.
That would be dope.
You.
That would be dope. I don't know. That'd be nice.
Yeah, like it would. Oh, go on.
Go ahead.
Oh, like it would be cool to have like one of those, like a podcast where you're just like outside and you just interview random people. Like that would be cool. It's just, I feel like I can't just do that anywhere. Like I would try that, but like I feel like that would have to be a different kind of podcast. It'd have to be like its own thing. But it is. Like it would be pretty fun.
Like I said, it doesn't have to. I mean, what's my man? Louder with Crowder. He does it all the time. He just pops up a tent or a table and drinks his coffee. Like, changed my mind on this topic, and has a whole segment. Doesn't care. He gives zero. He gives zero.
That's true.
And so he just pops up like, change my mind about this. And even then, he's so sweet, he's so smooth with it, he don't even need the table. He just brings a microphone. It's like, hey, change my mind on if the voting was rigged or not. Like, what do you mean voting was rigged or not? Like, of course it wasn't rigged. Stop it. Right. Well, I believe the voting was rigged. Like, I think you are a nutcase, sir, and I think you need to go back to live underneath the rock that you came out of and actually contemplate life because you sound like a moron and an idiot all at the same time.
And Chad, this is actually a great idea. Like, there's like a lot of cool things at libraries. So that's actually a fantastic idea. Like a lot of cool free things. I just hope that my county doesn't remember that I owe the library like $400.
Oh my god!
I mean, I guess I could like pay that, but it wasn't even like my fault. It was like my mom would like take out the books using my library card.
Ouch!
They're like forgetting to like bring them back. I don't know how much money it is. Maybe it's all been forgotten because like I was like probably like 8. So.
Well, you know what? Don't feel. I'm gonna say, Elle, don't feel bad. I've had a. I don't know if y'all remember this book, but the Buck Wilder series of books that was out like some years ago. I'm probably dating myself, but there was a. I don't know who it was, but it was like a parent volunteer came up to our school, elementary school, I should say, and he read us Buck Wilder. and it talked about like everything dealing with nature, dealing with being outside, outdoors, to different states, blah blah blah. And I'm like, oh yes, I want to get this book. I want to read this book. Between me getting the book and between me not returning the book was a good chunk of some years of some time. Don't know what happened to the book. Don't know. Mind you, I was like 8 years old. And so I go to check out another book and they're like, hey, you have a fine of like $32. How in the world do I have a fine of $32? Like,
Damn.
I don't even comprehend. I don't have enough pennies that equal $32. Like, I have enough pennies that equals 32 cents and whatnot. And so she was like, yeah, you can't check out another book until you pay this fine. And yeah, do you know what the book is at? No, the book is lost. Well, you checked it out, and so you got to pay for it. Like, okay, fine, I guess, whatever. Then I turned around and lost a computer game. And so that one, oh yeah. Yeah, the backyard soccer computer game. Yeah, I lost that one.
Oh, damn.
No, that one was like
I feel like I know that game. That sounds familiar.
Oh yeah, it was popular. It was a game to get before internet was even a thing. Like, yeah, before we had internet, we had backyard soccer and backyard baseball and backyard basketball. And yeah, and if anybody know who Pablo Sanchez is, you know. If you know Pablo Sanchez, you know. Or even what's my man's name? He reminds me of I want to say Lance from Recess.
I don't know any of the characters.
Yeah.
Like, I know what they look like.
I think it was the one who's kind of like skinnier and taller with and
The
Gretchen.
black dude.
Yeah, the black guy. Like,
Okay.
there was a kid. Yeah, there was like a lookalike of him in the backyard games. And so again, don't know his name, but I know Pablo Sanchez because
Shadow
Is that-
libraries. Okay, you've got my attention. Is this like the libraries in the Shadow Realm?
right.
With like
Like we got
Green Barrel?
we got libraries in like the fourth dimension.
Shadow libraries?
Gotta go to the shadow realm.
We're gonna take another book. We're gonna need your kneecaps.
Ooh, yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah. So it was one of those irresponsible things as a kid. So you talking about $400 for like some fines for the library? Like I'm with you. I know that thing sucks.
Mm-hmm.
And it took me years to pay off both balances. I think, yeah, it took me some years to pay off both balances. Like I think by the time I was an adult, that's when I was able to pay everything off. Like, this sucks. Like, I'm not going to the library ever again. Like, I'd rather just go to Barnes and Noble or whatever bookstore and just buy the thing on book. Like, if I'm gonna pay $32 for something, I might as well just own it. Might as well.
Right, yeah. You know? But then again, like I think they're gonna like, you know, like you couldn't rent out another book after that or something like that, or I think there's like some kind of penalty, or they're gonna like, I don't know, come to your house and the book.
Like a monster.
Get those kneecaps.
Look, I was a kid where if we playing hide and seek, you're not finding me. So if the library peoples or the librarians gonna come to my house, y'all ain't finding me. I don't care how well or how sweet the deal might be. If I'm hiding, I ain't coming out until my mom and stepdad says so. Nope. And even then, I was so good I could hide in plain sight.
Plain sight. Not bad.
Mhm. But yeah, oh, such a lovely time. Lovely time. Libraries, gotta love them.
Yeah.
But yeah, look, I would agree with Chad. Like, check out your library and see what they got.
Yeah. No, that's a solid idea, Chad. That was a solid idea. That was very alpha of you, Chad. That was very alpha.
Here we go. Oh man. So, sheesh. I'm gonna finish up the story of Texas because it was a bittersweet moment. It was bittersweet. Boo! Oh, you got booed.
Boo that
You got
man.
booed.
It was very beta of you.
Wow.
Yes.
Now we're downgrading. Nice. Or is
I
it
mean, his last name literally starts with BE. Beta starts with BE.
Right, and it's 4
Coincidence?
letters too.
Sorry, Chad. You know I respect you, but it was set
Yeah.
up. It is what it is. You can't be
I love his name though.
I'm trying to think if I know a Chad in real life. I'm not sure I do.
I know, Chad. I wanted to like my very first online date was with a Chad.
Oh,
He and I
wow.
are actually still friends to this day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. He actually knows Gil, I think.
For Kimura.
If Gil watches this, then it's like, hey, that was my very first internet date.
I mean, I think a couple of them do. I think a couple of them.
You have at least you have at least a few.
I think a couple of them. I think I got 2. I think. Don't quote me on that, but I probably got 2.
2 is always a safe number.
Yes.
2 is a safe number. Oh yeah. How's that body count doing?
Still at 2, of course.
As it should be.
Should I just keep recycling them? Isn't that what the recycling is?
Listen, I'm not mad.
At least it's the recycling that works.
I will say, Florida, you gotta do what you can do to mitigate climate crisis. If you need to recycle a few bodies, then so be it. That's a sacrifice. I guess you have to.
Yeah, hey,
I mean,
make the hurricanes less, intense.
Oh my god.
there you go. Reduce, reuse, recycle, repeat.
Yes.
Wow.
That's funny. Oh man. So let's see. See my sister in the stop it, Rocky. Stop it. Oh man. So the rehearsal dinner, was getting ready to get started. And we're like, hey, we're about to leave. We're gonna go eat. She said, oh no, y'all staying here. We're like, are you sure? She says, yeah. She said, only sent this out to like very select few people. She's like, pretty much the people who are supposed to be here are the ones that are in this room as of right now. So we looked around. We're like, okay, so that means there's not a whole lot of people coming around. She's like, nope, not at all. Because even her, the amount of people that's supposed to be there was like 150. And I think in the room, there was about a good 20 of us. A good 20 of us. So like, okay, so the other 130 didn't get the invite. Okay, I'm cool with it. I'm cool. So did the wedding thing, did the rehearsal dinner and everything else. Saw my nieces and my nephew for like the first time in person, and like my older niece, or my oldest niece, I should say, I haven't seen her. Actually, no, I've never seen her. I've only seen pictures of her. Never had a chance to talk to her and everything else. And so that was the first time actually meeting her in person, face to face, and having a conversation with her was that Thursday. And then my younger niece saw her for the first time and met her and everything else. Saw my nephew for the first time. So it was a cool thing. The wedding itself, I will have to say this much. The wedding was nice per se, but
Mhm.
I'm not a big nor flashy person. I'm
Okay.
not. I'm not a big nor flashy person. The venue which she held it at was big and flashy. Again, I'm not a big and flashy person. The tuxedo that I had to wear, I will post it in the general Discord. But the tuxedo that I was in, like again, I'm not a tuxedo person. Though I have suits in my closet, a lot of the suits that I have, I'm gonna end up giving away because I can't fit them anymore. But we had to wear tuxedos. I'm like, man, I'm really not a tuxedo person. Like, I don't like these. I don't like being big and flashy. Like, I don't. I never have. Never have. I was always the
Yeah.
type of person where if you went to a nightclub and whatnot, I'll kind of be that guy that sits in the back drinking and waving at everybody and saying, "Hey, what's up?" Or maybe like I will make my way to the dance floor, but depending upon what song was playing, and I will pretty much dance by myself because that's just me. I don't like having a whole lot of people around. If I do, okay, cool, great. But other than that, if nobody comes up, I'm okay. I'm going to have a good time by myself. So irritated from the ceremony, from the beginning to the end, just irritated, irritable. The minute she's like, Ryan, she's like, do you like being here? I'm like, I'm only here because she asked me to. I'm only in this tuxedo because she asked me to. If she did not ask me to be at this wedding, she did not ask me to be in this tuxedo, I would not be here. I have a
Mhm.
thousand other things to do. And like this place is like, sure, it's nice, but it's irritating. It is. And so we get done with the ceremony. Of course, because we're her brothers, we're taking pictures and whatnot. And even then, during the photo shoot, it almost felt as though that between me and my brother, like it felt as though we weren't supposed to be there. And that was pretty much the overall vibe that we got. It was like, okay, I get it. A lot of y'all don't know us, which is, fair. And a lot of you guys know my sister longer than she's probably known us. Again, fair. I get that. Totally. Totally get it. It's like, but you're not just going to not ruin this moment for us because y'all don't want us here. Like, no, bump that. Nope, not having it. So, like, okay, cool, great. So we left there, we went to the reception hall and everything else. And Elle, you probably might relate to this, but the majority of the people who were there were Jamaicans.
Okay.
And Jamaicans, they like to have fun.
Mhm.
They like to party. They like to drink and dance and drink and dance and drink and dance. Me, I don't drink, but I dance. I don't
Right.
drink, but I dance. And so I get these weird looks of, hey, how come you're not drinking any alcohol? Because I don't want to. You should
Right.
drink alcohol, but I don't want to. I want to have fun and be sober. I want to be able to be in control. So just in case if something pops off, I can react very quickly. And if I
Right.
have to punch somebody in their throat, I want to do so without missing. I want to punch you in your throat without missing. That is my target. I want to punch you in your jugular and not miss. Or,
Fair enough.
or better yet, I want to drive home because my hotel is way on the other side of town and I don't feel like walking and I don't want to because it is cold. It is
True.
cold. Wedding day, it was cold and it was raining. Cold and wet and
Mm.
raining. No, not a good.
God. Was it like
Yeah.
at least an indoor venue?
Yes, it was an indoor venue.
Okay. Okay.
It would have sucked. I'm not confirming or denying that accusation. It could not be true, and it could not be false. So that's all I'm have to say on that.
Fair enough. Like,
So So the venue was awesome. The venue where she had it in, it was awesome. It was amazing because they had a live DJ. Facts though. Facts. So they had a live DJ, like very known DJ. They had a well-known radio personality that was at the venue from the local area. And so the DJ and the radio personality, they've been all over Texas. Pretty much they done parties out in Chicago and this and the third. So they are very well known, and they were there. We had a good time with them and everything else. So Saturday rolls around, we're getting ready to leave. We got the late flight. And so my dad's like, hey, you want to see your sister? So I'm like, yeah, sure. Why not? We got nothing but time to kill. So let's do that. And go visit my sister, and just a lot of people just showing up and everything else. So a lot of other people had already left. And so she was like, she said, brother, she said, thank you for coming out. I love you. I missed you. And this, that, and the third. She said, you should come out with the family and hang out. Like, okay, cool, great. My brother-in-law, he's like, he said, dude, like, you should really like make some time to come out because I like you. I do. I like you. I think you're a really cool person and I want to hang out. We like going fishing and everything else. And he like, since you like going fishing, I'm like, oh yeah. Like you let me know because I got like 2-3 fishing rods in a nice tackle box that I've been itching to use this season. But since I bought my fishing pass, I've only been fishing once. This whole entire season here in Michigan, I've only been fishing once. And I would love to go. And I told him, like, I got waders, I got like water boots, like I got the whole nine. I just need to go fishing. He's like, say less. And even then, we were talking about guns, and he's a gunner. He's a gun owner. And he was like, yeah, he's like, there's some guns that I want to get, that I want to shoot, but I haven't had the chance nor the opportunity to do so. I'm like, really? He's like, yeah. I'm like, dude, bet, because the gun that I have not fired a single round through it at all. I clean it, I keep it nice and polished and everything else, but I have yet to fire a round. And on top of that, I want to buy another one just because I want to. Is it really like, dude? Yeah. He's like, you know what? He said, come on, we'll find some time and we'll go and we'll have a good old time together. Like, I like that. So we left. The missus messed around and got sick on wedding day. She got sick on the day of the wedding. Yes. And so she lost her voice. Now her voice is slowly coming back. My mom, she messed around and got sick. But, she's coming back around. Me, on the other hand, I don't know if I am or not, but I just know that my throat has been very itchy and scratchy since Sunday. And I've been drinking emergency vitamin C. And before you guys showed up, I was telling, Rocky that the missus, she makes her own homemade chicken noodle soup. And so I got the ingredients for her to do so. So either she's going to cook it tonight or tomorrow, but we're going to have homemade chicken noodle soup. And I'm like, yes, please, because whatever's going on, I'm tired of it. I done bought like 3 different kinds of cough drops. And I'm like, I'm over it already. I'm ready to be done with this because this sucks. But that was my weekend.
Okay.
Sorry, I was on mute. I was like, dang, well, sorry. I mean, sounds really sick. You guys support, sister, but sorry that people were getting sick. I forgot you mentioned that you also had been sick, right, Ron? That was actually before last week's stream, right? There was a time you had been sick. And you were just stealth sick because I didn't even realize.
Yes. Hold on. Wait a minute. Did.
Oh,
hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
I remember some of these names.
Yeah. I remember Rakanti.
Yes.
I think I've been on. I think I visited Rakanti's Twitch once.
Yeah, I probably have been on it too.
Yeah, they were playing Skies of Arcadia.
Mm.
Because, yeah, no, fantastic game I have from what GameCube. I was about to say N64. I was like, no, I think it was GameCube.
Link's Awakening. That's a game I never played outside of like a few times on the like a flash version on like an emulated version on the computer, and it never saved. So I'd only get to like one dungeon maybe, and then it would be all reset. So I've like played that game a lot in the beginning, but that was like as like a middle schooler. I've never owned the physical Link's Awakening, and I claim to be a Legend of Zelda aficionado. Sad.
Oh, I did not know that.
Well, it's one of my favorite series, I would say, but I've not played quite a lot of games actually in the series. Now that I think about it, but that's for a different stream.
Welcome everybody.
Yeah,
yes, welcome in. And shout out to the #1 mod on Twitch, Mish. Shout out to you.
Absolutely.
Shout out to you, the #1 mod on Twitch. I don't care what nobody says. Nobody. Mish, #1 mod.
Can confirm.
Hands down. So yes. Oh yeah, you're welcome. You are so welcome.
Of
You
course.
are so welcome.
Yeah, no.
Because
Welcome,
I think
welcome.
before we got started with this, I was over there hanging out with Mish for a little bit, playing while Mish was playing Legend of Zelda, Link's Awakening. Yes.
Awakening.
I love Soup too.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Soup is something I've grown to like more. Soup and salad even. If you can give me a good one, yeah, I can go to like a yes.
Yes.
Oh, that's a better place to
Yes.
put it.
I'll put it like this: you earned it. You've earned it.
Good matzo ball and something. I don't think I know matzo.
I don't think I've ever had matzo ball soup, which is sad. Like, because like matzo is like made out of something called like matzo meal. And I know it's not like meat. It's like a type of
substitute.
like a dough kind of, or like a bread or something. I don't know. Because I know that like there are certain days where Jewish people can't eat bread, so they have like the potato pancakes, which are, I want to say they're called latkes, but I could be wrong. I've had that before. That tastes really good, but I don't think I've had latkes. Or they're like potato pancakes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Like flat, like it's a potato or like a fritter. Yeah, they're really good. The latkes. I don't think I've ever had matzo ball. I've heard it's really good.
So it hurts. Oh, you said you heard it's really good. I thought you said it hurts really good. I was like,
the matzo ball soup. I mean, maybe for some people. Yes, no soup for you.
I'm done.
Seinfeldian. So there's the Seinfeldian and the Sein Marleys, and they don't like each other.
This is the thing.
No, it's a Attack on Titan reference.
Yeah.
I just made up like the Eldians and the Marleys, the Seinfeldians, the Sein Marleys. I tried.
I appreciate it, even though I don't fully get it.
Oh,
thank you.
So
thank you,
Toby.
Yeah.
Toby, did you ever watch Seinfeld?
No, I mean I know it's like a classic, but I can't say I've even seen like an actual episode. Maybe just for the lulz I'll go back, but nerds.
Yeah, I would highly recommend it. Like it took me a long. Well, like once it got onto Netflix, I was like, okay, let me actually like watch it.
Dang,
And the first season is kind of meh, but like I feel like season 2 onward is just fantastic, and it just keeps getting better. But
agreed.
But I don't think the first season is even that long. But I kind of stopped watching it, but it's like not like I got bored or tired of it. I just started watching other things. But it is a show about nothing. But it's a show about something. But it's I see why like every comedian, every like sitcom writer loves Seinfeld. Like I totally see it. I totally get it. I totally understand. Because like I was like wondering like, okay, it's a classic. Like how good can this show actually be? It's like, oh, this is fucking solid. This is fucking solid.
Yeah.
It's a stream about nothing.
Yeah, I've always heard how there's a lot of originality there that sort of like things that you look at and you just like, oh, that's basic sitcom stuff is actually like came from Seinfeld, which is pretty impressive, right?
Right.
Take for granted. So I have to go watch it for myself and then kind of it's a stream about nothing. Yeah.
Right. Because before then sitcoms were usually like families and like within the house, you know, like Married with Kids, The Cosby Show, you know, like all sorts of you know, other types of like sitcoms and things like that. So I think Seinfeld was the first or like the best at, I think it was the first where it was just a group of friends like in New York just navigating life. And it was just the show really is just about nothing. Like it really is just it's just life. It's like it's not really about anything. It's just about nothing. Yeah. Yeah.
All righty. L,
Yeah.
gotta swing it over to you. You gotta talk to us about your weekend.
Yeah, I'll go real quick. Well, it was a 3-day weekend for me because of Veterans Day. So on the Thursday before, I went out to this barista battle, which was like a coffee battle where like people, like coffee shops, I guess like within the South Florida region. One of them was like Subculture Coffee, which I know that's in like the county above, like in like it's like in Delray. And but like there, so like coffee places came and like battled to try to make like a really great cup of coffee. Gil was actually the film, like the guy who like was like the videographer there. So he had you know all his equipment, and he had some guys helping him out too. So it was fun. And there was free food, there was free drink, and then I had to drive pretty far to the premise for a bit. It does the barista battle.
I mean,
like it's like who can be the most hipster? It's like I got this coffee from this, you know, this little city in Yemen, but you probably never heard of it. But then I had to drive pretty far in the complete opposite direction to go to a movie, and I saw Wakanda Forever.
Nice.
And it was a great movie. It was a solid movie. I would definitely recommend it. Personally, and this is just me. Personally, I don't think it was better than the first, and it's kind of hard for it to be better than the first because like they, you know, of course, didn't recast T'Challa. And watching the second movie for me, I was like I kept going back and forth because I was like, I feel like they should have recast him, but at the same time, I love this story as well. So like, I feel like I would have been fine either way. Like I am excited to see where this is going to go in like the next movies.
Right.
So my 2 cents. But it was a fantastic movie. It was great. It was really fucking good.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. No, I hear you because there's a couple people who've already told me that like, you know, they loved it. And then my mom, before we went to Texas, she's like, you know, hey, would you like to go and see Wakanda Forever with me? I'm like, okay, you just let me know when you want to go and we'll go. You know, and I think it'll be pretty cool. I think it's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's kind of it for me. I didn't really do much over the weekend, even though I kept saying I would. Friday the 11th was actually my cousin's birthday. He would have been 31, like me.
Oh.
So yeah, I
Um,
might have mentioned him. Like he passed away
Hmm.
2013 Christmas morning. And so like
Wow.
it's just yeah. So he was 22, and it's like, like I keep thinking how like next year is gonna be 10 years since he passed away. Like that's just like fucking
Oh,
insane.
that's crazy.
yeah.
Yeah, because like so like he and I were born the same year. We're like the same age. So like like 22 to 32, it's like it just seems very like like it's just crazy because sometimes I think like what would life be if he were still alive.
Mm.
And like because like personally like his death had like a pretty big influence on me. Like I got it's like unfortunate to say like he and I weren't like super close, and I feel like because mainly he was like my male cousin. Like he was like more close to my brother. And but it was just like like his death definitely kind of just like put like like kind of just snapped me in terms of like it made me really and truly realize that I just haven't lived life at all. So
Mm.
it's kind of the reason why he's kind of the reason why like I just sort of do things scared, because I was always scared, and that's why I didn't do anything. So it's like, well, shit. If I continue and let just like, like, because he died in a car accident, and at the time I didn't even own a car. And when
Mm.
I got my first car, which was, I guess, probably like 3 months after he had passed away, actually, now I think about it, because it was like March 2014. It was fucking terrifying driving. It was like it was scary, but it's like I have to get to this job that was kind of far away, and I have to do this. And like over
Mhm.
time, like I got better at it, and like I started to like kind of calm down. I remember at one point one of my legs was like cramping one time when I got to work, and I was like, telling my coworkers like, oh, it's I think because of like driving. He was like, what? Like that you're cramping because like you're not even like really doing anything. But I didn't really know how to explain to him that I was just so fucking stiff. Like it was just it was just kind of like frightening and scary. But like yeah, it's yeah. I guess like long story short, I just like that's pretty much the reason why I just sort of do things, because
Mm.
the alternative is not to do things, and then what? And like he did a lot of things too. Like I know that he did like welding, and like because he would like work on his car and everything, and like he even like built a pond in their backyard, like in his in his backyard, in like his family's backyard. He would like fish, like he would like he did like a lot of shit, and I was just like, wow. And I felt like because he was like the same age as me, I sort of felt like I was kind of competing with him in some cases. And like when I like learned that he did all this stuff, I was like, shit, I don't do anything. I'm just sitting here just scared to, piss off my parents. Scared to, like, because, if my parents had it their way, especially my mom, like I wouldn't be doing anything. So it's just like, yeah, I gotta just live. I gotta do shit, because every day I wake up, I am me. I'm never gonna be anybody else. So it's like I gotta figure out what makes me happy, and like what do I want to do. So yeah, that's my bit. I didn't really do anything all that interesting over the weekend, ironically, but like I did do I did have like a really great conversation with someone who is gonna like hopefully help me get my apps started. Like
Nice.
get go into like some kind of direction, whether it's like get funding to hire people to make it, or I don't know, just some step in the right direction, hopefully. So had to like, yeah, like it was, so that was a great thing. But yeah, like I remember like I wrote a tweet over the weekend saying like, how they say pray for the prepare for the worst but hope for the best. And sometimes I'm just literally just writing on hopeless, just no preparation. I'm not preparing anything. I'm just like, it's like, oh, I hope this works, because I literally don't have a plan B.
Right.
So that's how I'm feeling about this. I'm just like, well, let's see where this goes.
Right. No, I hear you. I hear you.
I don't know, like, it's good. No matter what, it's gonna get me at least. Regardless, I'm gonna learn. And I was like, well, I shouldn't have done that. Like,
right.
That's like the worst that can happen. So, but yeah, Plan L.
And
I'm gonna have 11 more plans, but it's like, well, this is the 12th plan, Plan L.
right. Oh man.
That'd be like
That's
the worst
funny.
contraception.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, I hope that whatever happens with your app goes very well. I'm excited for you. That you at least had the conversation. Stop. Chad, go sit down. Go far away. Just leave your computer open. Just go sit down over there. Just go sit down. Go sit down. Preparation H. That's amazing. I love it. I love it. Take the leap and listen. Rocky, you must be in my house. You must be in my house, because I'll be saying something. I'll be like, look, sweet baby Jesus, I'm gonna need you to fix it. I don't know how, when, or when, but I'm gonna need you to fix it. Adult Jesus, I can rock with adult Jesus, because adult Jesus didn't play. Adult Jesus did not play. Yes, love it here. Me too. I look forward to Tuesdays. I'm like, at work, I'm like, listen, I need 9 o'clock to hurry up, because I need to see my peoples. I need to see my peoples, because I miss y'all. Even though, sure, yes, talking to the Discord is one thing, but I think just having you guys here and we're interacting or we're talking and laughing and giggling is like, oh, yes, I love it. Love it, love it, love it. And I know our friend, he had to, take care of some business. So hopefully he'll be back and he can.
He read your mind.
Right.
Even with almost that 5-second delay, he read it.
Right. I'm telling you. Like, man, take care of business on his own. That's okay. You take your time. We're gonna try to navigate this main course, because this is going to be a very interesting topic. I love it. I love it. So, Toby, I'm going to introduce this topic because you're not here with us to do it, because this was something that you brought up last month, and we're going to bring it in today. So, last month, when we were talking about cupping season, and we were talking about facts.
Jesus answers our prayers. Adult Jesus be holding us accountable. Like, that situation you praying about is low key your fault. Do better.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, I will take that one. I was like, yes,
Yeah.
like accountability. Like, okay, you want me to hold?
Yeah.
If you gonna hold me accountable, like, yes, sir. I will make better choices next time. Yes,
Baby Jesus is like naive and has like the best impressions of everybody. He's like, of course, I answer your prayers. Like adult Jesus knows better. It's like, I mean, I'll answer it, but
yes. Like you gotta do some work on your own end too. Like I'm not no genie. You ain't gonna just rub me the wrong way, wrong or right way. Like no, you gotta do some work. You gotta put your back into it. Something.
right.
I mean, if we have to, Toby, if we have to, we're gonna have to. We have to. I'm not saying we had to go to the portion where we got to do something strange for a little change, but if we got to do a little Patreon to get you a little computer to be on, then we got to do what we got to do.
Mm-hmm.
We
don't want you using your work computer, even though you've been using it sometimes for like over a year now. So I guess it's fine. Unless they're gonna like bring it up at like the most impromptu moment.
Right.
But so far it seems to be so good. That's how I feel about like when I tweet certain things. I'm like, well, I'm still at my job, so
It shouldn't be too bad.
right, that's true. I never like say anything bad about my job because I do genuinely actually do like my job. I do like it a lot.
Right.
I'm not just saying that because I'm for the like the random chance of the 10 viewers who are currently watching one of them works at my job. No, but no, I actually do like my job a lot.
There you
I do
go.
like the company I work for a lot.
Get Tobes a MacBook.
I agree. That's like Apple. I have a love-hate relationship with Apple, but they do make solid laptops. Like I can't deny that.
I mean, even their desktops are like phenomenal.
For sure, they are. They are.
And even I can say that because before my daughter decided to kick the laptop and break it, we had it. Let's see, we got it in 2008, 2009. No, 2000. Yeah, 2009. We got it in 2009, and we had it up until 2012, 2013, and it like still works like a champ. And again, she kicked it because her and my oldest that got into it, she kicked the computer and it fell and it landed on the floor and it cracked, and that was the end of it.
Shit.
That was the end of it. But like I said, like if I could own another like Apple product, it'll probably be the iMac. Just because it's like you said, El. I love it because it was simple, but I hated it because it wasn't compatible to everything. And I loved it because it wasn't compatible to everything because I didn't have to worry about getting hacked or attacked with any kind of viruses, especially if you were playing like online shooter games like I was. Yes, it was lovely. Had a lovely time.
Mm-hmm.
Try to play online shooter games with a regular laptop. Nope, that bad boy getting hacked into. I'm good. I'm straight. I am straight. But yeah.
Some cardinal rules.
Okay, she was
she's still a child, so she was like more of a child.
Yeah, she was more of a child back then. Now she's more so like she's like child / preteen / teen. So she could fit in any one of those and be perfectly fine. No, when this incident happened, She wasn't even a child. She was like a toddler.
Oh, man.
She was a toddler. She was a snot-nosed, cute toddler. That's what I'm putting.
She barely had a clue what she was even doing. Like,
No.
In terms of like, it's like, this is a computer. She was just like, this is a thing my parents use. Like, maybe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I actually got it back January 31st, the last day of January. And so it's going to be almost a year since I've had it, and it just barely feels like, like it's still like fucking solid.
Mm-hmm.
Like it still feels like it's like brand new.
Yes.
Like it's a solid MacBook.
Oh yeah. I agree. They will run you until the wheels fall off or till the motherboard breaks, whichever one happens. But yeah, they're solid. They're solid.
Mm-hmm.
So speaking of solids, going back again, Toby made a suggestion as far as, what our gender roles look at. What does gender roles look like in the kitchen? Like, how does it kind of coincide with, dinners and the holidays and the third? And Elle, I think you mentioned something. I don't know if it was last month or some weeks prior, but I think you had made mention where like sometimes in your family, it almost seems as though that a lot of the women tend to do a lot of the things in the kitchen, and it seems like the males just kind of like hang back and not necessarily do anything at all.
Yeah. That's sort of like what it's giving. I can think of 2 times relatively recently that I've noticed. One was like my brother's engagement party to his fiance, and it was at like his apartment complex, and they have like this event room, like an event space. And I just remember like at the end of it, like all the women were, kind of were cleaning up, and wasn't like my family. It was like, good friends of theirs who've been together for a long time. And do you toast and butter your gin rolls in the kitchen? I do, Mish. I do.
I'm gonna just leave that after dark.
That's true. We got like
I'm gonna leave that after dark.
That's fucking hilarious. That's fucking hilarious. Anyway, I'm like, why didn't I think of that? But like, anyway, it was right there.
Right, Gil. Right.
Yeah. Ew.
Hey, yo, reel that back in. But no, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it was like after that, and I just noticed that, like all the women were pretty much like cleaning up, and like the men were still just like chatting, sitting around with like their drinks, and like they would have probably like their empty, like used like little like plates and things like that, and like the women were coming around picking it up, and they were just sort of like, holding their drinks slightly, moving to get out of the way so they can pick up everything, and like it never really clicked that they should help, like they didn't like I didn't register that like the women were cleaning, like like it's time like to wrap up. It was just like it's getting spicy over here, like and I just sort of noticed that, and like I sort of just like kind of took it as laziness, and that's because I mean, how old was I? And this was probably like years ago. So I think it was, I don't know, like let's say like 27, 28, I don't know. And and I didn't really have, I guess this is gonna sound weird, but I've been noticing it a lot. You know, like how if you ever heard that our brains fully develop when we're like 25, 26.
Mhm.
And it's like I definitely like see that where I'm starting to like kind of notice things that I wouldn't have noticed, or like I wouldn't have like put the pieces together before, or I just didn't really like, I don't know, I guess I just know, I just realize things more. I don't know, whatever. And is that a cultural thing? Oh, like the thing is that these men weren't just like a bunch of Jamaican men and things like that. Like, you know, like my brother's fiance is white, and so, and like they have like, you know, like Latin friends, they have, you know, like white friends, they have, you know, like friends of just like different races, like mostly white. I'll be straight up honest. And it was just mainly like, you know, the women that were just cleaning, you know, like a handful of us, and like, you know, like my sisters and things like that. Men cooked and really? Okay, cool.
Oh, okay. I was just stuck on the part that you grew up in a cult.
I do remember he mentioned this before at some point, but gotta give it to the cult. I mean, shoot.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, shoot. Like, if the Jonestown people wanted to cook and clean, then I can forgive them for a whole bunch of things, including drinking the Kool-Aid. But sorry, keep going.
Right. Like, no, Gil grew up a Seventh-day Adventist, if I'm not mistaken. I think Seventh-day Adventist.
Actually, I had no idea.
Okay. Okay, that makes a lot of sense. Oh boy. That makes a lot of sense. Oh yeah.
That's interesting. Yeah, I can kind of see that.
I get that, Chad. It's one of those things where like I still kind of just chop it up to the patriarchy, because like women grew up under the patriarchy too, so we're gonna like, women are still gonna push and promote that, but I also feel like women are more than likely going to like notice that. It's like, why isn't this fully capable man not doing this? But it is, yeah, that's, you know, because like these women most likely grew up in, you know, in a family, or, you know, in a more traditional sense where men weren't supposed to be in the kitchen, and that's just straight up like traditionalism, patriarchy kind of bullshit. But yeah, but like that's just like kind of like what I've noticed. Like, and I remember that time it was just kind of weird. There was another time when I was like I think it was like something at like my sister's house, and I just know like my sister kept like calling on me to like kind of help out and things like that, and like me being the youngest, I guess like I just didn't really help out, you know, growing up. And I guess that was like another thing. I was like, oh shit, I'm at that age where, and also, you know, that gender where I have to like do these things or else it's gonna look bad. And that's like all that fucking matters. And it's like you're supposed to be like, oh, you're supposed to help out. You're supposed to help out. And like, I'm not saying I'm not supposed to. I just think everyone should help out. Like, you know, I don't think because you have like a dick between your legs, you're supposed to just not like it's beneath you.
I mean, it is literally beneath you, beneath us.
Shut up. Well,
I'm not wrong.
like well, it's not like beneath your feet, but
I mean, depends on what you're rocking with. Anyway, sorry.
No. Clean the bodies after, pretty much. But it was just like something interesting that I noticed. But I think one of the men, when it was like my brother's engagement party, one of the men was like helping out, and I remember like I noticed that, and that just made, and he was single, so that's probably like one of the reasons why he was helping out. Maybe, I don't know, because like the women were, like, I don't know, but he was helping out, but that just made him like a lot more attractive. Not like I mean, he was always like cute, but like it was like my brother's friend, so I'm like, I'm not gonna like go there. But I was just like, oh, that's actually kind of nice. Where before, I guess because I just never really like seen that growing up. Like my mom would always like cook and clean like every day. My dad would occasionally, sometimes, like it'd probably be like 1 to like 30. Like it was like, like my dad would cook and clean once every like 30 times. My mom did kind of shit. I'm in my early 40s and will never forget my grandmother's shock. Who used to at my house when I was around. I got everything in the house. Changed my dad. Yeah. Kyle B in the CV.
Yeah, good to see you. I feel like the name is vaguely familiar.
Maybe, but welcome.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, like it's crazy because like like you need to, like, for a house to function, like we've spoken about this. Oh, hey, no, thank you.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Are you on our Discord? Oh, perfect. Yeah. Mish here just sent the Discord, so
you're one of the same people on Twitch. We'll appreciate it.
Oh, thanks.
Let's go. I'll take that.
Yes,
we will take it.
Yeah, wow, I'm flattered.
I mean, that is really nice to hear.
Yeah.
Did you find us randomly from the algorithm, or did you come from like Twitter, like from the 2020 days?
Yeah. Thanks, Mish.
Generally,
Mish is the best.
It's interesting.
But yeah, no, like, and yeah, like we need like everyone to help and pitch in to like make the house work. Like it just like it's just so much stress on just one single person to do it, no matter if you're like the husband, the wife, whatever. So gender roles while growing up, Seventh-day Adventists didn't exist, just clothes was out of bounds. Women preached, men cleaned, men cooked, women led the tech department. Okay, so like women had to wear certain clothes.
Women preach. That is very interesting. So that's a pretty hardcore no for like a lot of fundamental.
Very true.
Like branches of Christianity.
Like when I went to when Ron and I went to the wedding last month, it was a Jewish wedding. I was like surprised and happy to see a woman rabbi.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Young too. Young.
Yeah. Yeah. She was young.
Yeah.
I speak gender roles kind of exist, but I somehow dodged it. No, I figured like if, because like in the Caribbean community, like that's like gender roles is definitely a fucking thing. Like that's one of the things that like kind of makes me like worry of like dating Caribbean men.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm always just like, oh boy, like how it's like 'cause I feel like they're very traditional, like even when they don't try to be, like it still kind of happens, which I get, I understand. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I don't know, like they like if it's like, hey, I'm like this cool, because I'm this cool, strong, independent woman, blah blah blah, and I'm like, okay, great, well I'm gonna put you in like this round peg into this square hole that I feel like women should be, and I'm just gonna keep jamming it until you fit into this, and I'm gonna keep trying to manipulate and mold you into this, and I'm not even aware that I'm doing this either, and that's like dating Caribbean men in a nutshell. It's like, no, you sir, it seems like you need to work on yourself and go to therapy.
Therapy for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. I always start with
Oh,
low to
yeah.
no followers and offer support when people are like, oh, thank you so much.
Oh, in terms of the accounts that you or the channels that you follow, I'm guessing.
That's cool.
Yeah.
So that's like
That's pretty
the
nice.
it's like the Twitch version of sorting by new, like when you're on Reddit when you sort by new.
Mm.
Thank you.
Make sure they were uncooled.
Just make sure they're okay.
Oh,
That's
God.
nuts.
Where's the filter on Tinder and Hinge for grew up in cult? I just need that filter preference. Grew up in cult, but weren't too traumatized by it. Because I can't be dealing with no trauma. All right, that's my toxic part coming out.
You see that same structure a lot around the world. Like in most cultures, families are usually paid. True. That is true, actually. Like it's true. Like in African American, I remember hearing that before, where like women are usually like kind of like the heads of households in a way, but it's usually because like, I mean, I don't want to sound like a stereotype, because it's actually not even like true anymore, if I'm not mistaken. Like men aren't like in the household or anything. So like the woman is usually.
That's very much true. For the African American,
I thought that changed.
for most African American households, no, that's still very much true. Because, and again, for the longest time, which, and I'm gonna circle back around too. For the longest time, a lot of the African American men were either locked up or dead. And so it was more so of the mothers, the grandmothers, and the aunties to kind of step in and pretty much hold the family down for the longest time. Up until recently, it's slowly trickling back to where the majority of the men are staying in the household, but it is not enough to say that the men are home. It's not enough. It's not enough. Yes,
Gotcha.
you may have a small handful where the father of all the kids are in the same household. You have that small select few. Other than that, they're not even in there. They're not.
Oh, I never thought about like if he had kids with another woman, and then like if he had like like a kid with another woman, and then later on like marries and has kids with the second woman. Yeah, because she can't, like, his first kid can't be in the house, most likely, unless you're Jamaican, because like that shit fucking happens. But it's like, hey, I had this outside kid. Let me just bring him in.
Right.
But that's part of, like, not like what I mean. That's not necessarily like a bad thing. Like I'm not trying to like shit on that. It's just like that. I think that's a good thing, especially like if like. I don't know, like whatever, like if it's like a better setup or what have you, know. Like I think that's really fucking noble, because like it's like, oh, like okay, but
yes, blended families, yes,
but true, but like most likely that wouldn't really be the case, especially like, I mean, I can't really see that happening like in an American. Oh, I guess it does happen. That was kind of like the whole premise of Creed.
I mean,
he just lucked out having a rich ass father,
right?
He didn't know for like the first like 10 years of his life or something like that.
He says the whole premise. I realized I was on mute.
Oh, say that again.
You said the whole premise of that's the whole premise of
Creed, the movie with Michael B. Jordan.
Oh, okay, I never saw it.
Yeah, good movie. It's like Rocky.
Yeah.
Rolling Stone dads have gone way down, but more people have kids when they weren't together in the first place. More women than now. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. And
Mm-hmm.
then as a result, somewhat industrial global culture descends from patriarchal Roman culture. That's true.
That's interesting. That it was the Romans that kind of came up with it.
Mm-hmm. It's true. I did like listen to like a bit of it on like Behind the Bastards. Like they were talking about like yeah, like Roman culture was very like brutal in terms of like I guess like in a way like keeping like the families together or something like that. If I'm sure like Chad could definitely speak better on this than me because I can't really remember and I never really finished listening to it because I was like this is not really what I wanted to be listening to because I was listening to like stuff about Clarence Thomas, which is interesting. And I started talking about like this random Roman history, like in another episode. I was like, yeah, this wasn't, not really my cup of tea right now. It's like it's a good cup of tea, but just not the tea I'm in the mood for,
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
huh. Interesting.
you mean like land meat? Because I think like they always ate fish though. So I feel like they would have had to.
Mm-hmm.
But that's interesting. I didn't know that. Like there's a lot of people who are like really into like American history, but Chad is like super into like world history.
Right.
He didn't just like start in Egypt and then completely forget about all of Africa and then just go to Europe. Like in my world history class growing up when I was a kid.
But is Chad into Chad history?
Oh Lord!
The literal
country, Chad.
The Republic of Chad. That would be meta.
That's true. That's true. Chad should learn more about his name's origins.
His name's origin.
Right.
All the Chads are named after the country.
But I did want to piggyback off something that Elle said earlier, especially as it related to the to my weekend in Texas. And like I said, my brother-in-law, he's Jamaican. He's Jamaican. And so a lot of
good luck to your sister.
Huh?
Good luck to your sister.
He's a cool one. He's a cool one. He's a cool one. I know you're kidding. I know you're kidding. I get it, but he's cool. He's in comparison to his like cousins and whatnot, he's very chilled, very laid back. The other guys, on the other hand, I don't know. I don't know. But anyways, the rehearsal dinner. And I noticed that a lot of the trash was like, getting picked up. Of course, my brother-in-law, my brother-in-law's dad was like, helping picking up and everything else. No big deal. Stop.
The lake in Chad and his car lake. Okay.
Stop. And so I would ask my sister, I'm like, hey, I see like the trash is getting full. Do you need me to take it out? She was like, yeah, we can take it out. She said, but then again, we don't have nothing else to put in. Like, oh, don't worry, I'll find something. And so the trash getting higher and higher, and I'm like, okay, we really need to take this thing out. And so I'm like, sis, like, listen, do we have another box or container we can store the trash in? Because this trash bag is about to start overflowing. Like, I don't mind taking the trash out. I don't mind. And she's like, really? I'm like, dude, yeah, like we got to make something work, because if not, you're going to have a whole big mess to deal with after everything is all said and done. So she's like, okay, cool, great. So she held the door for me. I just, was doing my trash run. And so I'm like, I wonder if the front desk has a trash bag that we could use. So I went up to the lady. I'm like, hey, man, I'm with the party over here. I was like, do you have a trash bag we could use to put trash in? She's like, let me see what I got. So long and behold, yeah, got a trash bag. Like, cool, great. Start taking all the rest of the trash out. And it almost felt as though like a lot of the women in there were kind of like, what is he doing? Like, who is this person taking the trash out? And even then, a lot of the men were kind of looking like, what is he doing taking this trash out? Like, what is he doing? Yeah. It felt a little weird, felt a little awkward. And even then, it came time for the cookout and whatnot at my sister's place. I asked, like, I don't know how to season meat the way how y'all like to season meat, so I'm not going to deal with that. I'm going to let y'all deal with it. But I do have a piece of meat for my wife because she can't eat beef and pork. She can't eat that. And so I got this where I will season this for her whenever you guys are done. Like, but other than that, do you want me to help you out with whatever? Oh no, we got it, man. We got it. Thank you. I'm like, okay, cool, great, whatever, and everything else. And so I'm just looking around. I'm like, okay, drinking, not drinking drinks, but like drinking like 7-Up. Again, I don't drink alcohol. And so it came to the point where I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna season up my my wife's what was it? Turkey tenderloin. I'm seasoning that up for it really nice and everything else. And then I'm gonna let the grill master. Oh, Mish. You have so much to learn. Young Padawan, come here. You have so much to learn. Yes.
I'm gonna just hope. Actually, this could be grade A trolling, but I also weep in case it's not. But it's okay, honestly.
We are the TMC, the Marinating Council.
The Marinating Council. Yes.
Yes. L for the win. L for the win.
L for the W. Yes.
Yes.
Hey, change that L to a W.
I love it.
So I'm seasoning the meat and I'm making it nice, looking pretty and everything else. I asked, like, hey, I got your meat ready and everything else. So I talked to the grill master, real cool guy. I'm like, hey, I got my wife's meat ready and everything else. When do you want it? It's like, oh, you said, cool, great. Don't bring it out just yet because we're still working on getting some grills set up and blah, blah, blah. Okay.
I only cook the finest boiled, unseasoned chicken.
The finest. Oh my goodness. This must be like mountain water, like mountain spring water that Mish boils the chicken in. Like straight from glass bottle, like just straight from the mountain.
Pellegrini water or whatever. Or it was Pellegros, whatever that water is called.
Do you mean putting salt on the boiling water?
Pellegrino.
Oh my god. A lot of chads do that though. A lot of chads for bulking.
No.
Wait, what did you say?
A lot of chads do that for bulking. Like they make a lot of like they just season a bunch of chicken breasts with just like salt. And they boil it and shout it out loud. Seriously, plain white rice, the spiciest side dish.
Oh man, so much spice. No, the scallions. That's really how you. That's how you. Really
Some black pepper. Ooh, don't even get me started.
Not the black pepper.
Oh my gosh.
Not the hint water.
Season
just a hint of seasoning. Just a hint.
Oh my gosh.
I'm struggling not to lose right now.
Oh, I'm done.
No,
I'm done. Oh man, I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done. Just stick a fork in me. I'm done.
Homeopathic. Thank you, Gil. Thank you. Homeopathic. Oh my god! Because you have the memory of water. That's how that works with homeopathic treatments. Oh my god.
Oh
Oh my
man,
god, that's
I'm
probably the best.
done.
That might be the best thing I've read in this chat all night. Oh my lord.
Stick a fork in me. I'm done. Yes.
I'm
Yes.
actually
Homeopathic.
yeah.
Look, I'm so done. I'm so done. The meat falling off the bone. I'm done. I'm that done. I'm that done.
Ready to be served up right now.
Oh man.
Dude, yo.
Oh, y'all's a chat. Y'all's a mess.
Y'all are tripping.
Chat, y'all is a mess.
I
So
don't even remember what we were talking about, to be honest.
hold on. I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna bring it back full circle. So got done seasoning. I got done seasoning meat, and Rocky, stop it, Rocky, stop it.
Seasoned salt. Real seasoned salt. I mean, I've used like those Creole, like Tony C's or Tony Chachero, whatever Creole season. I've used things that I consider like seasoned salt, but it has like Cajun seasoning, black pepper, which I mean I know is like the barest of the bear. Chili. I don't know. I guess I have to look at what seasoned salt exactly is because I assume that is it adobo or even the Maggie, not the cubes, but the yellow Maggie. I would assume some of that would count as seasoned salt, right? And I feel like those are pretty legit. Unless there's something that's marketed as seasoned salt. I don't think I've ever bought that before. I've probably had pink Himalayan salt. Oh man,
It's not it.
I just realized my stomach actually started cramping up from that last
No,
session.
that's not it. It literally says see on the packaging. It says seasoned salt.
All right, let me look this up.
Yeah,
Look it up. It's called food. Laurie's seasoned salt. Morton's seasoned all. Yeah, adobo. So when I look up, I see adobo all-purpose seasoning in the mix. I mean, I do see the various called seasoned salt. Laurie's is the top brand. Morton's also here.
yeah.
Adobo shows up in the search, but adobo is like its own type of seasoning. Adobos are pretty much mainstay in black cookouts, I feel like. Seasoned salt. I guess I didn't know that was a thing. Just
Yes,
uncontrolled salt versus seasoning. Just uncontrolled salt versus seasoning ratio. Oh man. I mean, I don't know. I guess I'm used to using blends like adobo, the Creole seasoning, but I've never like explicitly used seasons. I don't even use salt. Like I don't remember the last time I've ever put salt into a dish because the things have salt in them. Like you're already gonna have a lot of salt. I guess I don't use pure spices. Like some people will like have pure, not that these are spiced exactly, but oregano, whatever. Like some people will use pure of these things, pure parsley. I don't really have a lot of pure seasonings. I have a lot of mixes, which will have the pepper, the salt. It'll have some other things, maybe Cajun seasoning. It'll have some other things that I can't remember. I don't normally season last food, but I keep a bottle of ketchup handy. Oh, God bless. Bless your heart, sir. Bless your heart, Mish. They're going crazy there. They're going a little bit crazy with the ketchup.
You're good.
Go ahead, Ron.
Yeah. So as I'm getting everything seasoned and everything else, as I am getting pretty much everything like underway, I get the cleaning. So I get the washing dishes and everything else because like, that's what I'm used to. And again, I just kind of get the looks of like, oh, he's washing dishes. Like, yeah. And so I asked my sister, like, hey, sis, like, I'm done with your sink and whatnot. Like, what can I use to clean up your sink? Because, you had a lot of, meat in there and this, that, and the third. Like, what can I use to clean it up? And she's like, oh, well, we got this. Like, okay, cool, great. And then she gave me some Ajax. I'm like, perfect. I'm like, okay, so what do you use to like clean out your sink with? Like, do you use a sponge? Do you use a towel? Like, what do you use? She said, oh, you use the towel for the dishes, use the sponge to wipe everything down. Boom, perfect. And I just went into town and just cleaned her whole kitchen sink and everything else, made it smell look nice and else. And again, it was just that weird of what is he doing, an ordeal. And even then, to your point, Toby, like I don't use salt in the majority of my dishes. I try not to use it because I know the missus, she has a it's not an allergy, but her body can't take in a lot of salt. And if she does, she tends to swell up. And so a lot of the dishes that I have to make, I have to make it without salt without a lot of salt or not use a lot of sodium. And so I'll have to like make her stuff totally separate from me and the kids. But even then, with me and the kids, I don't use a lot of salt in there anyways. I use a lot of other seasonings besides salt. Black pepper for sure. I use some black pepper. And then I might use some other spices just to kind of give it like a little kick of a flavor. But other than that, like I try to stay away from salt because I know on my side of the family, high blood pressure is a thing. I know on her family, high blood pressure is a thing. And so it's like, yeah, I'm not trying to even kick my kids or get my kids started with that. Like, nah, I'm good. And even then, I had to get on my youngest, my daughter and my oldest, like, hey, y'all be careful with this salt because I don't want y'all growing up having to take pills to regulate your blood pressure. Like, no, you don't want to live like that. It's like, it's already bad enough that you got high blood pressure on both sides of the family. I can understand if it was on one side, but you got it on both sides. And it's very heavy, very prevalent. No, watch your salt intake as much as possible. And so I know when it comes to like seasonings and whatnot, I pay very much close attention. Oh yeah. Yes, Rocky. Yes.
I've heard people mention this, but I don't think I watched the videos. I think maybe there would be something that go viral on like one of those black pages. And of course the comments would be thoroughly roasting the concept. Same thing with people talking about washing meat in the sink. I feel like there's more of a split on that. There's actually a lot of black and African Caribbean households that do wash their sink in the meat, but I've seen some pretty visceral reactions to heck no.
Wait, Toby, stop. What did you just say? What did you just say?
There's people who wash their meat in the sink. Or did I say wash their sink in the sink?
You accidentally said wash your sink in the meat.
Like, wait, what?
Oh, okay. I didn't even catch that. Wash their meat in the sink.
Oh man, I use seasoning salt. So I guess I gotta stop using seasoning
salt. See, I thought this had to be what was being referenced. Like, oh god, washing meat in the sink. That's gonna be my downfall. I start saying on live that I wash my meat in the sink, and now no one can trust me.
Just take a chicken cutlet and just rub it around the sink.
Yes, Toby, we don't caught you.
Yo, caught me slipping.
Yes, caught you slipping. But no, yes. Yeah, I've seen those videos on Instagram, and it's like, okay, I get your point, but at the same time, it's like me, I'm a fairly clean person. And so if I do wash my meat in the sink, I know that I'm going to clean up my sink. I'm going to disinfect everything that I have touched. And even then, I will have somebody to even turn on the water for me, pour the soap in my hands to
Mm.
limit the amount of contamination I bring into my own household. So it's like there's some things that you got to use this noggin up here. Just some things, and I get it. Some people must say, well, I use gloves and this and the third. Like, okay, whatever. Not a bad idea. I get it. But at the same time, it's like, yes, I will still continue to wash my meat. I will still continue to scrub on that bad boy, and I will still continue to season it right after it gets out and do whatever I need to do and cook that bad boy until it comes out perfectly tender, juicy, moist, and delicious.
I'm sorry, I have to stop because unfortunately,
Hmm?
no, I'm sorry. I just need to not be a child. Keep going, Ron.
No, you don't like the word moist?
No. The moist thing is actually fine. People actually don't freak out about moist that much. It was the fact about washing meat and the fact Gil said AO, so he's thinking what I was thinking about double, like probably the innuendo. Of
Oh,
meat. And so the fact that Ron just kept going, it was like, I make sure that bad boy is tender, juicy, moist. I make
that's
sure
where your
it's
head was. Yo, chill.
Yo.
Talk to him, Gil.
Gil's
Talk
like,
to him, Gil.
Yo, Gil's like, don't put me on. Gil's like,
Talk to him, Gil.
don't go sign me on this.
Like a child.
I'm like a child. Yeah. No, I thought something too about I always I see your head is like I have to stop because that gets AO very quickly.
Oh yeah, you definitely got an AO. He said the same, like loud, bruh, chill. Beat it like it's chicken parm.
Bruh.
Now,
Bruh. Sometimes you just gotta give it the 1, 2. You just gotta boom, 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 boom.
You give it a 3-piece. Give it a 3-piece in the biscuit, Toby.
Yeah, 3-piece on the biscuit.
That's
Oh,
that
my
Popeye
Lord.
special. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No washing meat. People, the same ones talking about not bathing every day too. Oh yeah, or no, the one
Come
that
on.
was weird was that you don't have to wash your legs because apparently the water falls. But the bathing every day thing, I do think I remember seeing that like there was dermatologists. I hope it was troll accounts, but dermatologists were trying to explain, and we're not talking about the height of COVID where you're not moving anywhere. Maybe it's colder, but even that's still kind of suspect. But I can get the laziness of it because you're not going anywhere. You're just in bed. It's cold, but like, we're not gonna justify like active people like not needing to wash their legs or not wash. Also, Chad, I don't wash. So maybe I'll get canceled for this, but I don't wash my meat. I don't wash chicken. Just so there's no confusion about what I'm trying to say for the people with certain types of minds.
Oh.
I don't wash chicken and meat that I'm going to cook. Like really at all, unless I'm home with family, then we kind of have to wash. I feel like,
Chicken?
like there'll be a pot of chicken, and my mom usually will have that washed. And peeling it even. I usually don't peel chicken or like cut the fat off. I don't usually cut the fat off, cut the skin off. At home, we definitely do. That's a huge thing. But if I'm cooking my own stuff, I don't wash the meat. I don't cook. I don't cut the whatever off. Like maybe I could do like a brief rinse, but I'm not doing all this like what is it, baking powder? People put baking powder in. Should I wash that meat? Oh no, Rocky, which part are you roasting me for? The not washing or the fact that I don't cut the skin and fat off? The thing is,
Good not washing.
People talk about apple cider vinegar. They talk about putting baking powder, like or is it baking powder the thing that usually you bread meat with? People will do all this stuff, lemon even juice. I'm like, sorry, this is too much for me. To be fair, I can get it because chicken, you really do have to make sure you cook it well. But I don't know. Chicken seems like the way it is compared to like ground beef, where that's like dirtier. Like chicken is supposed to be a bit more whole, and like maybe you can just rinse off the or wipe the side of it. I don't know. But don't get me wrong, the apple cider vinegar, the lemon, all that stuff, I'm sure works well. But shoot,
No,
Cook my
Yeah,
meat
it just
before
feels
the
like
expiration
slimy.
date. That is a good. Was that you
No,
said?
but-
Like chicken just feels slimy.
I get it.
I feel like the only meat I don't wash is like ground turkey, because like I feel like it just ground like beef. I'm like, I wouldn't know how, but like, yeah, like all the meats I wash.
Yeah. And I was gonna say too, to Toby's point, like I get where you're coming from, where it's like the baked soda powder and the apple cider vinegar and the lemon juice wash. Like I can kind of get where you're coming from with that. Because even then, I don't necessarily do that. I probably might use the lemon juice for seasoning. Especially if I'm cooking fish, I would use it for seasoning. I would use lemon juice seasoning. But hold on.
So it's funny because I would always get roasted because this was unfortunately a running joke before. This is before even the stream started. Like we're talking about 2019. I would cook my chicken. Pork, I realized I couldn't do this because it would be very foul. But chicken, I could get away with, and ground turkey, I can get away with to some degree. I could cook it after the expiration date. Maybe the latest I cooked after that Best Buy date, and I'm talking about I didn't freeze it. I would just keep it in the fridge because I didn't want to deal with defrosting. So I could probably get away with like even, I hate to say it, but maybe 2 months. 2 months is bad. Like I would not recommend. But like 3 weeks, even a month after the Best Buy date, I could get away with cooking it. There's no like green. I've seen weird things. And when I saw it,
so
I think
because it says either use or freeze by this date,
correct.
and you keep it where? You keep it like in the freezer?
In the fridge.
No, you like it literally says freeze.
Yes. Yes. But consider, did I die though? Consider. So I would look at warning signs if it clearly smelled bad, if it was slimy. I've seen like I had a whole video I made on this. I should have posted it on TikTok once TikTok came around, but I had this Snapchat that I have not reshared because of the cringe. You're making us non-washers look bad. No.
maybe Toby unlocked something, because sometimes like those like when those expiration dates, I'm always like, is this true?
I've never gotten sick. I mean, I would not recommend. I still use my judgment. I still obviously do the smell. Sometimes I've even cooked something and realized this might not be good, so I just toss it.
That's crazy.
Now I freeze everything, but there was a point. Well, okay, that's a little bit of a lie. There was turkey burgers that when did I buy those turkey burgers? Maybe I shouldn't even say it.
Well, like that's already like pre-cooked though. That's like a hot dog almost, so like they might say to put it in the freezer, and like yeah, you should put it in the freezer, but like you could have, because it's already like cooked and you just have to pretty much like warm it up. So like I don't think that's like turkey burger kind of thing. Are you talking about like turkey meat, or are you like talking about like the turkey burger, like the patties,
like the pre-packed patties?
Right.
But I wouldn't eat that. I wouldn't eat that without cooking it though.
Oh yeah, of course. But like you can keep that. Like I could understand keeping that in the fridge because that's already like pre-cooked. You're just essentially warming it up. I feel like it'd be like, yeah. You must be
okay. I get it now. I'm on some Captain America type stuff. So listen, I feel like this is a great conversation to have unlocked because I don't recommend this. And this is not the life. Maybe you're infecting. Maybe at this point I'm just shedding virus and I'm asymptomatically. I'm spreading disease asymptomatically from all the expiration date chicken.
It's not just the chicken, it's like everything, Toby.
Oh yeah, the ground turkey, the chicken. Pork is the one that really doesn't last. Like I realized pork over the same amount of time, even like a week later, is like already getting bad. I'm like, what the heck? David, was that
David Goggins immunities.
Oh, was that one of those survival people?
Oh my goodness, Toby!
you would have like eggnog or like juice and that's gone bad or something.
Eggnog,
Like some weed or some.
oh god, the blunts, the pre-roll dispensary blunts,
Yes.
2019, and I didn't consume it until like end of 2020. Ground anything does not last. I know that's what they say about ground turkey, like it's or ground meat in general. Is like you have to be more careful with it because it's all kind of mixed in. The contamination is more. There's more of a chance. But I don't know. Like ground turkey has been the one that lasts better than the whole meats.
I feel like you should just have your own YouTube channel where you just talk about this.
I probably should. I mean, I wouldn't want to like be like because some people really do be like doing whatever, like eating expired or the. Whew. I've gotten lucky, and I know I've gotten lucky, and so I'm not sure I want to like for funsies do it and then like actually like get seriously sick because I'm kind of like I don't want to jinx it, and at this point I don't even like practice this anymore, mostly because I just don't cook as much. And when I do, I try to buy much more reasonable amounts instead of buying things in the spirit, knowing I'm never going to cook it, and then weeks later I have to deal with this, or of course put it in the freezer, but then I have to like defrost it. Who has time for that? So. Watch me find out that Bear Grylls. See, there's the one. I mean, I can't wash it. You know, I actually don't think it's true that I don't because what it is. Some people wash it with actual things. Like for me, I've done like a quick rinse, whatever. But like some people do soap, which I find kind of wild. Some people do more of like the lemon and whatever. I did that when I was cooking with a friend, and she kind of forced me, and I was like, "That's fine." The cooks at the FDA say you shouldn't. Who needs authorization when I have?
It's like don't believe the government. Don't believe anything they tell you.
Right.
Actually,
It's
kitchen
not
roulette.
real.
I'll credit you. I'll credit you. Actually, some friends told me I should make like a cooking blog because I used to cook a lot of meal kits and post them. Mostly on Snap, so it's not like I have a real record of any of this, except in my memories. But some friends were like, you should start a video, like a cooking thing. And I never thought to seriously do it. But at this point, Kitchen Roulette is going to be a new TikTok series.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, I ate this like a month. I mean, that's a quick way to get people to do shit, though.
Mm.
They'd be like, oh, I saw this guy on TikTok eat chicken after like that was in the fridge a month after it said, eat by, and he's fine.
I'll just put many disclaimers in this before people decide that this is the best thing to do for their lives.
But, however, I am going to ride with Gil. I'm going to definitely ride with Gil on this one. Yeah, and that happens, Toby. I'm finding you. You gonna taste this food. The moment you start turning, I'm popping you. I don't care. I'm popping you. Popping you on site.
Oh, you think
he probably has.
Gordon Ramsay going through Toby's Pelosi fridge. Yo, wild. I need to show a picture of my current fridge and see. Wait a second.
Yeah.
So I'm trying to remember how I've definitely had it, but I've tossed things that were definitely too long. I'm trying to remember what's the actual
too long, Toby.
The lady is talking to you, Toby. What is too long?
Because I'm not here thinking a month is long. Like,
I mean, listen, if it's spotless, smellless, odorless, no weird colors, and when you cook it, there's no weird anything. Because sometimes I've had to cook something and be like, okay, no, this is going right in the trash. And I didn't like make a whole meal out of it. I would just like maybe cook the turkey or the chicken before putting anything else in it. And then I was like, okay, something about this is suspect. Maybe even taste a little bit. I'm going to toss it. And that's fine. But usually I'm able to prejudge it before I go in. I pay to see it. Hey, I mean, listen, now you're talking. I did what I had to do. I really was not gonna. Oh, you're talking about the fridge? I was thinking you're talking about the show. I'm dead. A fridge log. I love it.
Fridge
Yes.
My vlog. Toby versus expired.
Two
Oh.
drops.
Wow. I'm
I
done.
mean, Rocky, you're not wrong. I mean, if you was here probably like what, a year ago, 2 years ago, yeah, you're not wrong. You're probably close.
Right, yeah.
You
Yeah,
are
true,
definitely
true.
close.
I mean, I haven't lost yet. I might have to tap out a little bit, but I've never.
What does
you know.
tapping out a little bit mean? Are you going to be like in the hospital? Like, what does that look like?
No, like I decided like I was gonna try to eat it, then I decided not to. And then toss it. Rules are meant to be broken. And it really depends on what the thing is. Let's not even talk about these. Like, I might actually have the bottle because I saved. I've been better at not hoarding things, but I did have to save this one bottle, because it was like this type of like organic little like shot, like one of those like little health shots. Sometimes they're ginger, sometimes they are good for sleep, sometimes they're good for other things. I saved them, and I bought a bunch of them like over the summer, like maybe sometime in June.
Oh, God.
Or even July. And some of those things expired maybe in August, maybe September. Tell me why some of them were in my fridge even the past few weeks.
Oh,
And
my.
some were suspect. And I was like, okay, there's a weird film or a weird something. This is going. The other ones weren't suspect. And so I drank them. And I have no
telling
regrets.
you, Toby. I'm telling you, Toby.
But that was kind of mean. That was kind of me going back into it. I had been for a while not even storing things up long enough to be able to eat expired. And I think at some point I was like, there was like some turkey bacon that shriveled. It was like it got redder and like harder, and I was like, this is probably not good. And because turkey bacon, when you open the packaging, you can't really close it back, and I didn't put it into like a resealed bag. So that one actually was before the expired date, but you could kind of tell there was something weird about it. And so I did attempt to eat some of those. Probably was a mistake given the outcome. I mean, it also could be coincidence because, you know, people's stomachs sometimes be hurting out of nowhere. Sometimes you get gas out of nowhere. It could be coincidence. But those turkey bacon probably were not the best idea. And I thought that would have been something that was harder to go bad, especially when it wasn't even at the expiration date. But I've noticed turkey bacon can be very fickle. Oftentimes you'll notice mold, and at that point you actually have to really toss it. Don't tempt me with croissant, because the croissant's before the expiration date and you see the mold. Don't tempt me to cut out the mold and eat the rest. Do not tempt me. Like bread, no, because bread, you can get bread so easily and it's so cheap for a whole croissants, you know how much I pay for croissants and how good they are? Yo.
Oh, man. Hold on.
This is not normal for most of my meals, by the way. This is just what's happened a bunch.
Toby, I keep my camera. Toby, hold on.
Yo,
before you say anything else.
It just happened a bunch.
Before you say anything else, what you just said reminded me of an episode off of Martin. And in this episode, this is when Martin and his posse, they were having Thanksgiving. And so Brumman came in, and Martin's gonna throw away the bread. Brumman said, "What's wrong with the bread?" He said, "Man, it got mold on it." He said, "Y'all don't know. I'm gonna scrape the mold right off and make me a sandwich." That's you, Toby. You are Brumman for the fifth floor.
Listen, I'm not even mad at his logic when I came to this country, but not now. I'm the 22. It'll be fun. My husband was the same way. Hey, there we go. Liz got my back. Gil, that was the funniest thing. You said not the choice.
Oh my goodness.
This is gold. This is actually gold, yo.
Wanted you to live.
Yes. At the end of the day, we want you to see the next day. We want you to see tomorrow. For tomorrow is not promised, but boy, you keep playing with that fire.
Yeah. Might be.
Sheesh.
That made me cook for a man with the quickness. I'd be like, yo, like I care about you. What are you doing to your body?
So I am down to listen. Anyone want to save a brother's life? Anyone wants to save a brother's life? I'm offering because you're doing out here pushing the boundaries that we know is possible. I'm out here doing science experiments, and I hope that my contribution to humanity gets heralded. Like,
I don't know. Well, to this point, Jacob, to your point, my daughter,
that's different. Okay, that's different.
That's different.
No,
that's different.
That ain't different. No,
actually, let me not.
No, bro.
Keep going.
No, bro. No, my daughter, when she was a toddler, that's what she would do. She would eat from the top of the trash can, but even then, I saw her put her hands like deep down in that bad boy and pick something up and start eating it. And I caught her like, "What are you doing?" And she kind of looked at me, laughed, and giggled, and proceeds to eat. I'm like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe you did that." Till this day, she has the strongest immune system in the whole house. To this day.
Wow. Okay.
She has the strongest immune system in the house to this day. I kid you not. And I'm like close second. I'm like a close second. She hardly ever gets sick. Hardly ever. I think the only one time she messed around and got sick is when she got COVID. And even then, other than that, that was it. That was really it. Like, she doesn't get ear infections. She doesn't get the colds, sniffles, no allergies that I know of. Nothing. But you, sir, on the other hand, I'm gonna have to agree with Rocky, a different specimen. You are no, you're not even a different breed. You are an alien. You are a true alien.
I don't know. I guess I'm just built different, or whatever they say.
Literally, you are built different.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm going to say yes.
His immune system.
I'm going to say yes. Obviously, yeah. I'm going to have to say yes.
I feel like growing up, I was kind of like that too, where, like, you know, like my mom, I don't want to like call her out, but like,
oh,
you know, like if there was like mold on the cheese, like she would like cut away the mold, you know.
That one's a little tough. That one's gonna be a little bit tougher.
Like, I wonder if she did that with with bread. There was like some things that were just kind of like, you know, but there was like 7 of us. It's like,
I mean, yeah.
Let's do the 5 hours. Yeah, my friend, one of my good friends, like he would like something would drop onto like the side. I've seen this happen. Like he would be eating something and like a piece of the food would drop onto the sidewalk and he'd just pick it up and eat it. I'd be like, okay. I mean, he did get like a little sick, I remember, after that, but then I wasn't gonna stop him.
You said who was this?
I was like one of my friends from like a previous job. Like he and I are still friends to this day, but I remember one time at work, he was like walking and eating like, yeah, I guess like, I don't know. He was walking and eating like lunch and a piece of the food fell on the sidewalk and then he picked it up and ate it. I was like, okay. But Toby's the setting of Osmosis Jones. But, you know, he firmly believed in the 5-second rule.
I mean,
You're stuck here with me.
Yeah, not stuck here.
Oh man, this is too much. Oh man. So
Here with me.
I guess when it comes to food, there are no rules, there are no boundaries, there are no great lengths that Toby would go, because Toby pretty much summed it up for the whole stream. He'll eat about anything.
Like he's not even gender roles. It's just like alien roles.
Exactly.
It's just out of this world roles. Like where everybody's like cleaning up, and some people are not cleaning up. Toby's just, I don't know, eating out of the fridge.
I'm
Like,
cleaning
are you
up in my own way. I'm making sure
Exactly.
things go bad, or the things that look like they're bad. I'm like, oh, don't worry, I got it.
You're
This
right.
is
It's like,
for
oh, you guys
this is
didn't
for
cook
research.
this? You guys didn't cook this meat? Okay, I'll take it home. I'm not gonna wrap it up or anything. I'm just gonna leave it on the counter.
Speaking of done with pizza from work, and I did scavenge 2 boxes actually from my office. I mean, it wasn't 2 whole boxes. I mean, they're not full, but they are 2 boxes of pizza.
Could you just
so-
you couldn't have combined the 2 into 1 box?
Yeah, I could have, but it was at this point it was too much pressure. I was already gonna I think I was gonna what's the word, consolidate, but then one of the people organized just put the box on top. I was like, oops, it's too late now. They decided that this was what needed to be done.
So you're too afraid to touch the pizza and put it into 1 box, but you're like brave enough to just eat the chicken after a month.
Well, I don't know if I was afraid to touch
Come on with Toby. Make it make sense, sir.
Yo,
Make it
this
make
is-
sense,
I'm
sir.
literally gonna save a bunch of this because these are ideas. Gender roles. Sorry, because I realize I when it comes to Thanksgiving, or not even Thanksgiving, but just like all these types of things. I guess Thanksgiving is obviously what's the most pertinent. I don't remember, and this is like my wrap up on, I guess, my hard shift away from exposing myself for the what's the word? What is it called? The menace to society that I am, I guess. And to wrap up on this topic for me, I mean, definitely my aunt would usually host. We've hosted sometimes. My mom would make a lot of food. Dad doesn't really cook. But I don't. But I mean, we were all wrapped into definitely helping with the prep. Cleaning was a little different because mostly it was just like take home leftovers, and if we're at our aunt's, then they already have a bunch of dishes, so we might just take home the things. And then when it comes to cleaning, we could all get recruited. We definitely all get recruited to help prep for like cutting vegetables and stuff. So it's like I definitely understand the concept, and I do remember this came up when like Juneteenth came, maybe even Memorial Day, and people were like, cookouts are dead. And some people, I guess, are trying to blame millennials or this generation type nonsense, which we should have a great conversation about how millennials and I guess Gen Z, but especially millennials, get blamed for everything, and how this generation is so XYZ. I would absolutely love to talk about how Gen X and Boomers and everyone else, they have their part to play. I feel like there's just a lot of unfair shade thrown. But it's the man amongst boys. But one thing about the cookouts was that maybe it's also because a lot of us don't live in actual houses where we have our own space and yard. A lot of people, especially women, don't want to have to carry the brunt of the entire cookout on their backs. And that was an interesting point, which kind of definitely heavily ties into this topic. And again, you have landlord rules. You have certain things where we don't have as much leeway as the older generation had. Where they easily had their neighborhood and their community. Anyone could just come in. Here you have these private property managed places, or you might have maybe a condo. You don't really have your own space. Gender rules, pizza rules. Gender rules, pizza rules.
I saw what you did there, Toby.
Yeah,
I saw what you did there.
Yeah.
You're not slick. I saw it.
But that's mostly kind of what I've seen. I mean, African cultures is kind of hard to say. I mean, there's definitely a lot of women involved in these things, but I don't know. But if, especially if you have like men who care, I mean, you'll see them helping out a lot too. I think it's just hard because Thanksgiving has been a pretty small affair, and when it used to be larger, there was a ton of kids, like really young kids, like how young I was. So it's not like there were a lot of men. And in one of my families, like the aunt who we usually host Thanksgiving at, basically the uncle has not been in their life for quite a while, and so naturally, women were doing more work just because there were more women there. And I was the youngest. Me and my brother were the two youngest, and my cousins, they also have 2 guys, 2 girls, where the 2 guys are the youngest. And so I think sometimes that's the example I've seen too, where the guys were younger. So oftentimes the older women were just doing more of the work. Now, of course, it's not going to be the case in every household, but I can say, at least from what I've seen, if there was a lopsidedness, it's because we didn't have essentially the uncle there, and us guys were the youngest in the family. But I definitely agree. Definitely can feel how like it's kind of normalized to just let the women do what they're doing, and people might just feel like you don't need to help. Sometimes maybe you try, or you say, "Hey, do you guys need help with anything?" And they just feel like they got it, which is cool too. But maybe it's just because they're used to that too, that they just are gonna do what they're doing, or it might be too much work to like try to explain. Roll for immunities. Roll for immunity. Yes, roll.
Oh yes.
That's is that I'm trying to think of what kind of game.
It's like D&D.
D&D, okay, that's
Yeah.
what I'm trying to remember. You've used the 5-second roll. Let's do the 5 hours roll. Go hard, go. Oh God. Oh man.
Yes.
I will say it is a little bit cringe when I see people throw away good food, and
oh yeah,
I've had to stop myself from being like, don't go into the trash. Don't go into the trash. I mean, it depends on what it is and what was just put in the trash. If it's like an empty trash bag, it's like I'm still not gonna do this, but I would feel better about doing this than if it's like clearly a week old trash and you toss good food in. I was like,
I get like how recent it's been. Like if you saw the person, like let's say they put like, oh, there's just so much like unopened cake here, and they like put it in the trash, and it's like at the very top. It's like, okay, you just take the box, but like it's not open. They literally just put it in the trash. But like, I don't know if it's like a plate, and like they had like a cake on it, and then like they closed it. And like the cake is also kind of at the top of like the no.
The lid's there. No,
that's sketch. I'm gonna say that's sketch. That's suspect.
That was Moses Jones too. Yo, I'm thinking so. Oh God, I'm just catching up on some of these things.
Yeah, you play catch up with that because, oh boy, you got a lot. Oh man.
Yeah.
Oof, Lord.
All I'm gonna say is this much.
I love this George.
Oh man, I know that episode. I forgot what it was. Like I think the person just took like one bite out of it and then put it. Like, it was like an eclair or something.
I'm not sure.
I can't remember what it was like a dessert. And then like they took like one bite and put it in the trash, and it's like then they saw me like eating out of the trash. Like you were eating out of the trash.
Right.
It was funny. Put it in the fridge. Yeah, I think there has to be a balance between waste and overeating. Like if you after you eat, I feel like that's more of a waste. As much as you eat, but don't reverse it.
Yeah, I mean, I just be putting stuff in the fridge. Like, unless it's like you have a whole family and it's like there's too much space in the fridge. But as a single person, even with a roommate, it's like I got room to put things away in the fridge, and I know I'm gonna eat leftovers. Like, I don't let leftovers go to waste, really.
That's good.
I think the time that it would happen is when I was getting a lot of food from my office, and then there were times where I had like the leftovers that go to waste are typically when I make spaghetti, and then I don't have time, or I ran out of ground turkey, so then I can't make spaghetti sauce to complement the spaghetti. Or likewise, I have sauce and ground turkey, and I don't have time to make spaghetti's easy, but sometimes I just don't have time to buy more, or I don't want to. So then that has gone bad. But usually at that point, it was like a very little amount left. Same thing with rice. I've definitely had rice go bad, which I hate because I love rice. But I have white rice that I want to use to make fried rice. I would never let fried rice go bad. But like the white rice, I have excess, and I'm like, well, I'll cook again with it eventually, and I never cook. And then that white rice goes very bad. Never in my life have I ever used those bad white rice or turkey sauce. Basically, cooked food that goes bad, I don't eat. It's just when there's uncooked food that suggested to have used by a certain date, I have some creative freedom, let's call it. I have some creative freedom in how I interpret these labels.
Okay. Okay, so I'm guessing you don't eat banana bread.
Well, I don't buy it. Why?
Because the only way you can make banana bread is like with bad bananas.
Oh, the mushy bananas are a hard one because here's why. They might not even be bad. I hear they just kind of get soft and like the outside will blacken, but it's not necessarily bad, like toxic. I don't know. Like, tell me I shrimp fried this rice. Wait.
Shrimp fried rice. Tell me to shrimp fried this rice.
Oh God.
I heard like I think I want to say it was like 9,000 years ago, or like maybe it was just like 3,000 years ago or something like that. Like bananas were like hella poisonous and like for us, or like, and I think they were like spiky. I gotta look it up. But I know that they were like poisonous for us apparently. So it's kind of interesting how like now they just never go bad according to Toby. So
bananas are a forever food. No matter how mushy they get, you can just eat them. I mean, bananas though I eat pretty regularly when I get them.
Banana forever.
Banana forever. Get out of here. Which, by the way, I didn't really give my synopsis of what I did, but I did go to a private viewing of Wakanda Forever. Of course, I showed up mad late because it was Friday and I had things to do, and it took forever to find parking in Boston downtown in the garage. Even terrible. Yeah, I'd say. Listen, I'd be out of it. Like, I'm a disconnected. Not a boomer, but I'd be sometimes out of it. The references
skip like 3 generations.
Right.
So I skipped 3 generations.
I'm not a boomer.
Wow, sir, you are batting 1,000 right now tonight.
It was a good movie. It's just I came in a bit confused because I probably came in like an hour into it. And then, so now I'm going to a second watch party that's happening this Saturday. And this private viewing, I'm actually going to see. So I see someone toss good food, I'm going to be like, don't toss that out. Yo.
I mean, I guess Toby needs to get to know, because I guess to know the meat before he eats it.
Oh my God.
I have to get acquainted.
Yeah, he has to get acquainted with the meat.
Me and the meat have to get to know each other. We have to have a few dates and everything. Precisely.
I'm really not a fan of fast food.
Oh, I'm done.
Fast.
Oh man, I forgot the dry age. I am done. Oh, I am so done. This man has set, Toby, you have set a new bar when it comes to eating foods that are expired, semi-expired, and not yet expired. You have put you stacked the bar like way up here.
That's so obvious. I can't believe I didn't even think about. That's great, Mish. Shake your hand through the screen.
Nice to meet you.
Pleased to meet you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
to
mean,
eat.
I don't know how I'd feel if Toby was like inspecting restaurants.
Oh,
Like-
yeah. Point me to your local health inspector.
Right.
Through connections. I'll impress them with my resume. Listen, I've been able to survive the toughest of tough fights with my meat, so I can help cut down. Now I'll be like, I was ready to defend this man. It's like McKinsey. No. Here's the thing, Chad. It's like McKinsey. You have to cut costs, including slashing prices of. I don't know. They're fixing. There's a lot of weird things McKinsey was doing. I remember Pete Buttigieg was getting flack for working there. Flack. No pun intended. And so it's like that. I'm just helping to cut costs and bring down to get people's budgets in line by not tossing away so much food that they could easily use. Like, imagine how much money they could save if they don't procure new raw ingredients. They can just reuse the food they already have, or they don't have to toss out the raw ingredients. Just extend a little bit how long you would have kept it, just a little bit.
How long is a little bit?
We're gonna do some studies.
What
We're
is
gonna
time to Toby? What is time?
listen. I would make a great. I would listen. You think Elon's doing a good job at Twitter? Which I know, but if you think Elon's doing a great job, watch what I can do at a board of health inspection
Oh
and
my
helping people
God.
manage their restaurants. Like, good Lord, you don't even know.
No, I'm done. I'm just gonna let you know. No, Toby. No.
He said no.
No. Don't care. I don't care if you have all the credentials, all the education. I'm saying no. Like, do not let this man 2 feet near your board of health at all. No.
I mean,
Don't
Toby's
let
like
this-
using like the Roman calendar. or
Exactly.
something for, like his days.
PC food budgets.
Oh man.
I mean, food waste is a serious thing that I wouldn't say like, it annoys me for sure. Like, if there's ways you can repurpose food without the liability of like, oh, I'm giving food away, because people be bleaching the food and a whole lot of nonsense so that people can't dig through the trash. And I think there would be an awesome way of, like, all jokes aside, being able to repurpose a lot of that. Food waste projects, food waste networks. I don't know how it's gonna work. Universities, corporations, because even my job, I'm like, they're gonna toss away a bunch of the food, even the free food that they were giving out that they can't get rid of, especially by the end of the week. And I'm like, toss for what? But if that's from
no, Toby is not for president. Toby's for no.
I vote for Toby.
hey,
I'm gonna write in L.
Just the letter L.
just the letter L.
L for president. I'm just writing L for president.
I guess it's between you and me, Toby.
Matter of fact, no. Matter of fact, you know what? I will vote for Toby if
Toss for, you gotta toss for what? Nigga gotta be green party for green.
I will put it like this. The only way I will vote for Toby is if Manny is his running mate.
Hey, okay. Yeah, Manny's gonna he's gonna be the Biden. Well, that's not comparing to Biden, but he's gonna be that experienced, very knowledgeable, sort of like bring down to earth. And I'm gonna legalize sex work. Not only am I gonna legalize it, but I'm not gonna do government funded, but we're going to have, what is it, Uber X? Is it Uber XXX or whatever it is? Whatever idea we came up with.
That's funny.
We're going to have the health department. We're going to have legalized sex work. We're going to have entrepreneurship out the wazoo. People are going to be selling everything about themselves. Listen, actually, I shouldn't say that joke. Okay. I was going to say, listen, we could have, if we didn't have the racial component of it and the whole chattel thing, we could have been selling ourselves and our labor in a way that wouldn't have been so terrible that caused the whole Civil War. Just think about it. Just bear with me. Think about it.
Like if everyone could just have like a garden in their own home and like be allowed to grow whatever they want. You mean like live off the land sort of thing? And be able to sell like.
No, I was just saying something very. I was making a cancelable joke. Basically, slavery, if ran more individually and entrepreneurially, could have been better if it was consensual. But at this point, I still need to workshop it because clearly I haven't thought through this one very well. But
No.
I'll get back to you.
No.
I have so many policies that I could implement. You thought that
No.
you thought we
That
had a
only
fun time in
happens in
2019
Dubai.
and 2020 with some out there policies. My policies are going to make some of Yang's most out there policies look like the most mainstream. Like y'all ain't even ready. Ain't even ready.
Okay,
I'm not
Toby's
good.
ready. Toby's ready.
Oh, I don't know. I need to go home and take my pills. I ain't ready. I'm not ready.
Oh yeah, because you're in the
I'm in the coffee shop right now. I'm in the coffee shop. Yes, I'm in the coffee shop. I'm not ready. I'm not ready. Toby, I'm not ready. No. Oh man.
Yeah, the Great Leap.
Zidane.
The Great Leap. I'll workshop that one.
Nope, you better not. You leave it. You leave it on the butcher shop. You leave it.
The Great Meat Forward. I'm gonna have the Great Meat Forward. There we go. I just have to figure out how to talk about suggestions for meat quality.
Suggestions.
Oh my gosh. Oh my goodness. We're talking about this. We're actually doing this. We're doing this today. We got time today, don't we? We got time today.
I mean, we actually don't have time.
So we really don't, and I have to apologize
today.
This is my fault that we're even out here.
There's only 23 minutes left of the day.
Actually, that's very true.
Yes. No, sir.
Don't put that evil on me, Bobby.
Bobby. Darn it, Bobby. Toby, go home. Go to bed. Go to bed,
Oh
Toby.
man, there's so much.
Just close your laptop and go to bed.
Time for you to hand on the shoulder. It's time for you to lock off, bruh. Bruh.
Yes.
Yes, I worked at gave our leftover food to a homeless subscriber.
Interesting.
The meat patty.
Wow. The meat patty. That's so funny. That is so funny. The meat patty.
Oh, what kind of party does meat bring it? Yes. Yes.
Oh my
Stop
God.
it. Get some help. Don't do drugs.
That could have been like a legitimate typo. It's like R and T are next to each other.
Wait, you said what? An R and T are next to each other?
Because it said the meat patty and then the meat party. I was like,
Oh yeah.
I don't know if that was a joke or if it was a legitimate typo, but it's hilarious.
Yo.
Oh man. I just like that quote that Chad put up. I was just reminded of the Michael Jordan McDonald's commercial when he had hair. Oh, hilarious. That was for you, Toby. Stop it. Get some help.
That line just worked so well in so many cases. Like, that's fine. I'm not afraid to ask for help. One of the updates I would have given if my computer was together, I did have my second therapy. It was a cognitive behavioral therapy that I'm basically starting. I had my first appointment in September. Today's Tuesday. Yesterday, Monday, was my second appointment. Some mishaps happened, so there was supposed to be a scheduled October appointment that never happened. But listen, that's we're gonna bring up a goal because I already started having to make my goals. What actions can we do to improve?
Okay.
We're gonna figure out what is going on here and how to solve it. But in the meantime, before the therapy can do the therapy, I guess I'm gonna be out here testing my life with this until I figure out why I am the way I am.
Yeah, no, definitely mention it on like next therapy session. It's like, so I eat meat way past expiration date, but it's not way past it to me.
To me, that's me.
What is way past the expiration?
What is it?
Like
Oh
it
my
is just like it is just it's just very interesting though, like because it's making me question shit. Because like I said, like I sometimes I see the expiration date and it was like, okay, I could probably go like 2 days when it comes to like butter or like maybe like one of those like salads and like in those plastic containers.
Yeah,
It's like, okay, like I look at it, it's like, okay, it's not looking all disgusting. Like it looks normal like it did yesterday and the day before. So it's like, okay, I could probably go like, like a few more days. But I just never like want to risk meat. And what if it's just like this weird fear that we're just taught to have, and maybe it's like totally safe.
man.
They probably overcorrect or they probably like overshoot it just for like
Safety reasons.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now
You must be by a long shot.
I overcorrect by 2 months. Listen.
Again, a long shot.
2 months is
You keep it in the fridge. That's the scary part. That's the scary.
Yeah.
Even the freezer, I wouldn't even think twice. But the fridge does make me think. I do think twice, by the way. It's not like I do think twice, but I think twice and then I still go forward with it. So
I feel like you need to think like twice squared.
Yes.
I could think 4
Yes.
times. Maybe I might think 5 even,
No.
and I still go ahead and do it.
No, I think you need to think to the 10th power. Just
Like
Wait,
like
yeah,
like
2
a
to the 10?
like like a giga Google.
That's like
Yeah.
1024. 2 to the 10 is like 1024. The fact that I know that, Mish, you can relate, but that is too many. That's trauma. The fact that I know what 2 to the 10 is, that's called trauma from binary and computer science. Yikes. I might think 10 to the 22 to the 10 times. Clearly, it wasn't enough.
Toby would just straight up in the commercials just be like, everywhere is lying to you. Watch, I'm eating this 2-month-old steak that's just been in the fridge. Like that would get my vote. It's like, holy shit, everyone has been lying to me about everything. Like I always knew that, but now I see it now. The SpongeBob episode.
why does remind me of the SpongeBob episode? Surprise!
Episode where there was some food or I don't know. I mean, SpongeBob, man, that was a show.
Yeah. But guys, we
got to go.
if we wait any longer, the meat in Toby's fridge will go bad to our standards.
It actually might go back to my standards, which is crazy. Oh crap, did this thing just die? Whatever.
That's because your standards is like super high. You probably had it like 4 months ago. And it's just not going to go bad, Toby. Like, yeah.
Yeah. Listen,
Mm-mm.
I don't even have a justification. I don't even have any defense at this point. I just have I don't know what I have.
You just got meats. You got Arby's.
Call me Arby's because I got the meat. Yes. That's actually anyway, we're not
Stop
we're
it.
not on this topic, but Arby's, that's not a bad one. Listen.
Toby. The longer you let me sit, the healthier it gets for you, and the less you need it. The crap. I want you to keep eating it, so they tell you to eat
I'm
it.
done.
It's time for us to go. We got to go.
This is a great one.
Yeah, no,
That's a
Toby
good
ate the red meat, and he saw how far the rabbit hole goes.
Listen,
Yes,
the red
he did.
meat- Yes. Yeah, exactly. That actually
Yeah.
works very well. Thank you, Al. Yo, I feel like this is like an intervention slash like a
Toby is a garbage disposal.
book. Look at that. That's actually garbage disposal, and like I said the other time, compost. Because you were saying that was it about men being trash, but like they at least be recycling, and I think I was defending myself like, well, at least I'm compostable because I have the most useful. Like even if I'm trash, at least I will help someone else grow. Maybe not.
Hey.
That's good. I like that. That's clever. Clever and good.
This is a whole quality comparison of Arby's. And Arby's, apparently there's a thread about how it's low-key fire, but it's been underlooked. I don't know, because I don't remember really ever eating Arby's. I don't have a recollection of what it tastes like, but
No, it's good if you forget.
It's good.
Yeah, no, you don't need to remember that.
Oh man.
Oh man, keep it
Right.
going though. Keep it going in Discord.
In the Discord. Yes, keep it going in the Discord. Like L's, I'm a piggyback off the L. We gotta go. We got to go.
Next week, y'all figure out what my role is, or I'll just post it in the Discord. What is my role? Until then, just use your imagination and let me know the results of past Best Buy meets. I want to hear y'all's story. Take after me. Let me be the mentor. Maybe I'll start a Patreon. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
L said weekly.
Anyways, good night, y'all. We love
Good night.
y'all.
Love you guys. Peace.
Yes, be safe.
Please.
This is not like health advice at all. Like a big, massive
Disclaimer.
fucking disclaimer.
Yeah.
This is not health advice. This is all speculation of just one. We just have like one like control group guy. Not even control group, just I don't know. I can't remember science.
No,
Watch
totally
Toby
wrong.
get
You said, oh, you're talking about it.
we haven't quite tested this yet, like, so and we don't plan on it. Anyways.
Exactly what L said. No.
Get some butt and a tax cut. How did I miss this? Toby 2024.
Good night, y'all. We love y'all.
Good night.
Have a great evening. We'll see you next week. And definitely, follow us on the Discord and, share with us your past expiration date adventures.
Yes.
Right.
Good night.
I love you all so much.
Do not try this at home. Agreed.
Do not try. No. Or anybody else's home. Anyways. Good night.
Yes.
That's good.